Hey, it's John from Flat Circle History. Thought I'd give you a little behind the scenes look at episode 6. In particular, the climax scene of that episode, which is the attack on the Sever Bay oil and gas terminal in Russia. And I thought I'd give you kind of an idea of what goes into it. So, before filming that scene, I first needed a script, but obviously, before the script, I needed a vision of what episode 6 was really going to be about. And the vision for episode 6 was, it was to be NATO's retaliation for the Russian attack on the UK's oil and gas facilities in the North Sea and in the UK itself. Basically in episode 5, it was Russian President Kozak kind of acting like a mob boss, right? He's threatening NATO to back off, sort of saying, hey, NATO, you have a great moneymaker going on there in the North Sea. Hate for something bad to happen to it. And then giving him a taste of, what he means. Episode 6 is all about NATO then coming back and saying, oh, hell no. Kozak effed around. Now he's going to find out. And NATO's going to hit back in kind. So that was the gist of what the vision was for episode 6. I picked the strike to be in the Arctic in Russia because that area is, currently going through a bunch of changes, a bunch of investment. It's going to be a geopolitical hotspot in the decades ahead. Both NATO and Russia already see this. They've already increased their military presence up there, and that's only going to increase in the years ahead. So knowing all this, where do I strike? So looking at the various trade publications and websites and such, I centered on the Sever Bay port facility that Russia is building right now as we speak, which is going to be Russia's largest oil and gas terminal to date up there. So I now have my target. Now I have to build it, film it, and then bomb it. There's essentially two platforms I could use to do the filming of this scene. There's both DCS and Arma 3. Because I wanted to do close-ups of people running to give some sense of scale and gravity, I wanted that human element to it. I decided that Arma 3 was going to be best for that. I mean, DCS is great for ships and aircraft, but close-ups on the ground, it's a bit lacking in the quality, which is understandable. Is DCS is it's a flight sim first and foremost. So now, how do I build this in Arma 3? For that, I found a mod that somebody created for the Malvinas, so the Falkland Islands, and Port Stanley in particular, which was perfect. The mod and the map there had the bones that I needed, but then obviously I needed to add my elements to make it more look like an oil and gas facility. So, that took quite a bit of time of adding all the pieces in there to make it look authentic. And then last, I needed to bomb it. And here's where things really got kind of tricky. At first, I tried to bomb it from aircraft, but the explosions were nowhere big enough and dramatic enough, and couldn't get the timing right. So next, I tried to do kind of a Scud missile attack. These were big missiles coming in, big booms, but they weren't accurate. So they're exploding off camera, and it was impossible to time it. So I finally kind of went full Hollywood, and I set up a bunch of tanker trucks, turned them into IEDs, and then timed them to go off as the people are running, they're exploding behind them. And that turned out great. I could get the timing right down where I wanted it, and it went great. So, all in all, to kind of give you an idea behind the scenes, that sequence, so from the description of Sever Bay to the attack, all of that, it took about 2 solid days to create that. So, gives you a little taste of what goes into creating these monsters. Now I'm on to writing the episode 7 script. So thanks for watching.